and welcome to the Ceasefire Advanced Intelligence Center into today's session on the new evolved automatics range. And I today have with me Pranav also with us, who's going to be throwing light on every side. So viewers, a signature offering from Ceasefire today comes in the form of this new evolved automatics range, which is today an array of standalone extinguishing units, which can on one side work as independent automatic fire extinguishers and can also be upgraded to become a smart, intelligent, retrofittable suppression system for that matter. So the beauty of these extinguishers, Pranav, as I see, is that they can be upgraded to the next level, and the intelligence quotient of these extinguishers can be upgraded, step by step. So today we will try to throw light on every aspect of this new range, but as a summary of what this range is all about, I think on one side we have the wall-mounted extinguishing units, which at a base level is just another thermally actuated automatic fire extinguisher, and on the other hand you have a ceiling mounted extinguishing unit. Again, at the base level is just another automatic thermally actuated extinguishing unit, just the way we had it earlier. Now this range can be upgraded to become monitorable, and that's the beauty that is now coming with the presence of a pressure switch. So there is a pressure port available in both these units, and simply by connecting a pressure switch into these units can become monitorable completely. So when I say monitorable, it means that a signal can be taken from these units and can be taken into any third-party device to program it the way we want to. So this could be going into a fire alarm system, it could be going into an independent sounder beacon, it could be going into a full-fledged BMS system, whichever way you want to do it. So the role of this particular device is that it converts a mechanical action that is taking place inside these extinguishers and creating a switching effect to complete the circuit. So whichever way you want to monitor it, we can do this. So that is the base range we were talking about. The same base range can now be taken to the next level, where the activation can happen electronically, through a matron actuator. So with the same set of extinguishing units, you can create a full-fledged suppression system which is retrofittable, which can be triggered electrically through a variety of detectors, sending a signal through the control panel, and this thing working like a beautiful suppression system as a total flooding system, which works on the principle of cross zoning. So, in a nutshell, I thought I'll just begin with how the whole thing is all about. Once again, welcome Pranav to this thing. So, what would be your opening thoughts on how the range today stands evolved in its current avatar, Pranav, for the understanding of all our team members?
Vishal, we had started with earlier ceiling mounted fire extinguishers. Yes. Then we brought in our inverted range mounted fire extinguishers. We wanted to extend this to a little more than what they could do earlier.
Sure.
One would be to indicate the activation of these systems, and to have a certain kind of alarm when these systems activate. This would be just the normal addition to earlier this thing. So what we did was we took in a normal inverted or a ceiling mounted extinguisher, added a new NRV port to it, okay, and with this NRV port we can attach a pressure switch, as you say, and this pressure switch will monitor the pressure of the cylinder, and if the pressure falls below a certain point, the switch activates, and you can either attach a strobe siren,
do any third party
switching action. You can attach a strobe siren, get an alarm, and you can get an indication outside of the panel that they say enclosure, sorry, not a panel, for that matter, the enclosure, and you can see that if there's been a fire within a room and why the system has been activated. And of course, the switching action can also be extended beyond strobe signs. It can also be be an input to a fire alarm system,
absolutely,
maybe even a response panel for that matter. Yeah. And it can generate an alarm or an action where people can know that a real-time event has occurred and take invasive actions.
Yes. So our units, meaning to say, are no longer working in isolation. Remotely being somewhere, they can actually work and trigger a response, and they can be monitored.
Basically calling out for help,
or knowing that there is an emergency.
Yes.
One more thing that I wanted to add is that in this automatic range today, viewers, is what is important for us to also understand is that on one side you have wall-mounted and ceiling-mounted type of units available. Now in wall-mounted we have 1469 kg as the individual variants. 12469. 12469, absolutely. And in the ceiling mounted category, you have 2, 5, 10, 15 as those size variants. Now, if you were to mix the two, you will see you have all sorts of combinations that are available for us to do.
All sizes available.
All sizes available.
Continuous range.
Yes. So that is what that enables you to protect any kind of premises and protect and safeguard any kind of place with these. And just wanted to add, here we also are looking at multiple kinds of installation brackets being made available.
Yes.
So you have, on one side the wire bracket for the 1 kg, 2 kg wall mounted units for the vehicle applications. You also have telescopic arms, this arm.
For installation
in any targeted place where you want to do target protection and reach out a particular asset, you have this telescopic arm available. You have
the regular kg, these would be the wire brackets.
Wire brackets. This is the one that I'm talking about for the 1
kg clip-on wire brackets.
Yes.
And very popular.
And then of course you have the good old ceiling mounted, as a mounting option also available. So not only the size options, but you have a lot of options in terms of how you install a thing in a particular premises, just to make the whole thing very versatile in its applicability.
That's an event indication. So this would be our basic units where I would expect a similar unit being installed in a location, or each of these machines being protected by one of these individuals. Yeah. But if we were to go from this range, by the way, we are branding it as Atomix.
Yeah.
And if the Atomix was to evolve further now, so we would make it the Atomix Pro. Now with Atomix Pro, what we have done is that we have converted, or we have made it possible that we can take any of your individual Atomix or your ceiling or wall mounted systems, and we can do a zone or a enclosure protection or total flooding protection by converting these same units into Metron actuated units. Now for this, it's very simple that say you have a normal unit like this, Vishal, if you can hold this for me.
Yes.
Okay. And we have a Metron bracket. Okay. This Metron bracket can be retrofitted onto the system in itself. Okay. Just with the help of a couple of screws. Yeah, we should go and show them in a closed position. So this Metron actuator can actually be installed onto the existing valve, and we can use a simple Allen key to install it on top of this. And with this installed, we can just add on a Metron to it.
So at the base level, structurally it is the same.
It is same.
Acquires a new property when you attach and makes it, make this thing sit on top of it.
Absolutely.
So at the factory level, it will be manufactured, similarly, so whether it is Atomix or Atomix Pro, and that's the new branding, by the way, for the two
units which are from
base. We call it Atomix, and the system version we call it Atomix Pro. I think you have a system installation done there.
Yes. So this is what I have You can see this. This is what I did right in front of you while Vishal was explaining the product. Now here we have the bracket on which I have installed the Metron, and here is the NRV port which has been added to each of these units. You can open the protective cap on this thing, just remove it from here, and for activation or any event signaling we can attach any of the pressure switches.
Correct.
Connect it over here and you're ready to go.
So base level, first we upgrade the thing with attachment of a pressure switch, and then the same thing we added to it a Metron actuator, so that it's becoming monitorable as well as being triggered electronically through your detection module.
So we are going to offer this Vishal in two forms now. For gas-based system we're choosing the fluoroketon. Okay, and for powder we are offering you MAP 90 for our ceiling mounted systems, and we are offering you MAP 50 for our wall mounted units.
Sure.
So where the powder can do zone protections as in area protections, your gas-based systems will help you protect volumes. Okay. Now we have also with this kind of a system allowed further innovation. You can now do a combination of your ceiling mounted and a wall mounted extinguisher depending, even further customizing it to the requirement. Say you have an enclosure, and in this enclosure you have a very small enclosure which maybe has a UPS inside. Now what I can do is I can have a 2 kg system, 1 kg FK installed there, and on activation I can have the whole place activated even with that small enclosure. Okay, so this is a kind of advancement now we have done to this product. Okay, this makes it very easy for any kind of situation, and it allows even the most difficult of installations to be completed with these.
Pranav, I think the way we look at the automatic range today, is in such a way that it is such a versatile range today that we have in the system, is that at the back end you have all shapes and sizes available. You have all types of mounting arrangements available.
Yes.
You have both ABC powder as well as fluoroketone available. You have a base level arrangement available. You have a base plus monitoring capability available. But if you want to really convert that into a full fledged system, that is available. So all sorts of combinations are available now. Depending upon whatever the client requires, we can create a system and offer it to them.
Yes,
that's the beauty of automatics range today. It's become completely versatile.
Yeah. I also see one of these advantages, where we were looking at, a lot of times, we have a country which is growing in strength and economy, and a lot of times businesses grow. Now, say probably today one of the businesses had, say a server room, a small server room, protected by one of these, and tomorrow they grow. Okay, we will not let their existing system go to waste. What we can do is we can retrofit our Metron actuator, we can retrofit our pressure switch monitoring, and we can extend the system and scale it up. And in scaling it up, we will allow even the enclosure types to change.
Correct.
Maybe it is because of growth, maybe it is growth with shifting of the location. Everything is now possible with
because
this
the base level building block is the same.
Yes.
You just have to add on to it.
It's just building block. Very nice example. It just keeps on building.
Yeah. True that.
So let me put this back. Do you want anything else on this? Okay.
Can we talk a little about the certifications of the various components, the important components like the pressure switch and the Metron actuator that goes inside?
Yes, let's talk about the product in itself. Okay, so most of you will know that we have a complete product, assembled product, pressure equipment directive certification on this. Most of these are tested up to 35 bars with burst test more than 55 bars, but with the working pressure not exceeding 20 bars, that is what your certificate says. So let's stay with that. Then if you go to the pressure switch in itself, the pressure switch has a very wide usage allowability in the world because it is UN listed.
Yes, for them to know. Yes, you're talking about this component.
Very small, switch. It is Vishal, it is UL listed, is CE compliant, okay, and plus it is ROS compliant. Is the what you call harmful chemicals and materials. It complies to that too. So quite an advanced switch with the capability of both normally closed and normally open conditions available on this. So this allows you to use it as you want. You want to connect it to say strobe siren, yes, you can use a normally closed position on it. If you want to connect it to a fire alarm panel which wants a normally open switch, that is also available on this.
So this little piece is really doing the magic, which is converting a thing into completely monitorable solution, and you can read that thing taking an action into any device that you
want.
This could be a BMS system, a fire alarm system, a standalone system.
Absolutely. And
so
then we have done this, and then of course most of our strobe sirens are EN approved. If you go to the
Metron actuator, I'll get the Metron actuator.
Now Metron actuator, for those who have been newly initiated to this device, this over here. Now a Metron actuator is basically a pyromechanic device. Okay, if you apply a current to its two ends, okay, then it generates a certain amount of trigger within the device, and a pyro action, or there's a small explosion within the explosion is too dangerous a word, but there's a small expansion of a gas within the device which extends, shoots a pin out of this. It just shoots out, it doesn't just go away like a bullet, it just extends out, and this extension would be approximately about 9.5 to 10 mm. And this actually ruptures your bulb and activates the system.
That extension is rupturing the glass wire.
Yes.
And
so you have very fast to fast action, because even the bulbs that are used over here, thermal activation is also possible. So with Atom-X you extend from only thermal to thermal and electrical too.
So Pranav, will it be wrong to say that in Atom-X you have dual protection? You have a thermal while also available for activation through heat sensing. And you have a Metron.
You have a Metron action.
The Metron, for whatever reason, the thermal will kick into action.
Will kick into action.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Now, for the system to be connected, we can connect unlimited numbers of Atom-X's with the new kind of arrangement that we have. We have something called, say, fire alarm panel or gas release panel. On the gas release panel, it is connected directly to one of these Metron, and from the Metron it extends to any of our relays. These are multi-purpose relays, which we can show them one. It's in your hand, Vishwa?
Yeah. Are you looking at this?
No. There's a multi-purpose relay which, okay, you showed to you in a little while. I think I brought it somewhere over here. Okay. Through adapter and a multi-purpose relay, you can connect as many as Metrons you want to activate. Okay. But first one initially has to be this, because the panel in itself, if needs to identify, it will identify the first device of connection.
The first device of connection. And of course, every unit has to have its individual.
It has to have its individual supply, and that is facilitated by, of course, during in the handbook and in the circuit diagrams we can show you. Oh yes, sorry, I think it was pushed.
That's true. We can take a little leverage for our own team right now.
This is a multi-purpose relay. Okay, so you can have your power supply onto it, and the trigger will come from our panel and our Metron. Okay.
I just want to add, Pranav, that while you're taking all the effort to explain every part and every side of it in all the details, try to absorb as much. But if you miss out something, just wanted to add that we've developed the collaterals on this new range in a way that we've tried to be as descriptive as possible. So whether it is the brochure or the data sheets or the product presentations, videos will be made shortly. We've tried to really highlight every small little aspect that makes the range unique. So if there is something that you want to again understand, after the webinar, please spend time going through the brochures and the product presentations and the stuff that is available on the website, and we try to make it as descriptive and as simple to understand as possible. So Pranav, I think with this, should we jump into showing our team members a little demonstration of how the product works?
Yes, let's join you back when we reach the demonstrations center at AI, and then we will do a short demonstration as to how the system operates and how your alarm comes in. We are doing two demonstrations today for that. One would be, the wall mounted, okay,
a base level version,
base level version, and then
this is the Atom-X, and then the demonstration of the Atom-X Pro. See you
so
then.
both ceiling mounted and this thing wall mounted, we can look at both of these, okay, and do one of each if possible, or both of them if possible. So let's see how it works. So join us back. Welcome to AI Center for a demonstration of our Atom-X range of fire extinguisher. For demonstration today, we are using a 4 kg MAT 90 powder fire extinguisher. This we have placed on an extended telescopic arm on top of a fire. For demonstration purposes, we are going to light the fire in these two trays. As the temperature rises and reaches 59 degrees centigrade, the bulb on the sprinkler would disintegrate, releasing the agent out on top of this fire, extinguishing it. In this extinguisher, we have also fixed a pressure switch. This pressure switch monitors the health of the system and will also indicate the event of discharge. This can be connected to either a response panel or a fire alarm system, or it can be simply used as a fire alarm to indicate an alarm on a strobe siren. So let's start and see how this system works. Light fire. We are pouring a B-class fuel to ignite the fire. So let's wait. As the temperature rises, the system will activate. With our fire out successfully, this completes the demonstration for our Atom-X fire extinguisher. Thank you. Welcome to AI Center. We are going to do a demonstration of Atom-X Pro. We have an enclosure over here where we have installed Atom-X Pro on the ceiling. In this Atom-X Pro, we have attached a pressure switch. This pressure switch is going to monitor the health of the system or the pressure within the cylinder. This is being fed to our response panel, or it is fed to our agent release panel, the rapid sense. We also have attached a Metron actuator to this automatic cylinder, which will, in case of fire, actuate the cylinder by disintegrating the bulb by the projection of the Metron. Now, for the purpose of the demo, let me tell you how it is going to be done. We have an enclosure over here which is 1 cubic meter. We have fixed a cylinder with gas approximately about 2 kg. In this enclosure, we have attached 2 smoke detectors. Each of these smoke detectors indicates one zone. The operation of the system will be such that we will light 4 cups with fire, the smoke will rise. As the smoke rises, it will activate any one of the detectors at any given time, and then it will subsequently be followed by the activation of the second detector. Once one of the detector activates, that means we have one zone activation. One zone activation means that we will have alarm from the panel. The system will still not discharge at this point. Once the second detector activates, then we have two zone activation. The panel will confirm that there has been a fire, and with that it will go into a discharge mode. A countdown timer or a delay timer rises on the panel, and post the completion of the delay timer, the gas will discharge. Now in this case, what we have explained till now is the automatic detection. There is another option which is available where you have a manual release on the panel itself. This can be pressed. Once this is pressed, the system goes into a countdown and the system will discharge after the delay timer or the countdown is completed. Now in between both these methods, the automatic method and your manual actuation method, if you want to interrupt or pause the discharge, you can do so by pressing the abort switch. Once the abort switch is pressed, the system will wait for the system to reset and then make a decision as to what has to be done. So say if I press the system over here, system is activated, I will press abort. After abort has been pressed, the system goes into a pause state. Now I can reset the system at this time. Still the system is safe and it will not discharge. The system has been reset and is now in its normal stage. So what we'll do now is that we will light up the cups within the enclosure, let the smoke rise, and at the same time we will look at the activation of the two zones, and with the activation of these two zones we will see the alarm and we will also see when the discharge timer starts over here. So let's begin with the demonstration. Please light fire. We already have A-class fuel within these cups. To this we are adding some B-class fire material, fuel. The cups will be lit now. Close door. As soon as the smoke threshold level is reached, one of the zones should activate. So we have one zone activation. Zone 1 has activated. Second zone has activated and has been discharged. This completes the demonstration of our Atomx Pro.